Morning everybody. I didn't take any footage from the hut. As you can see, nothing to see. Emma pretty much nailed it. She said if we had gone through the old man, we would have been going over Mount Rintoul in this, so there's a chance. We're hoping, it's not raining or anything, we're just in the cloud. Hopefully the sun can burn this off and we start to get some views like we had yesterday. So we'll head on off. If it stays like this, there's not going to be a lot to show you, but I'll show you what I can as we go. See ya. Jagged rock up here. These trees, each little branch is almost like a mini bonsai. So we're at the next summit, just over 1,500. Just up that little peak there will be 1,514. And it's a bit of a junction here where we head down to Old Man Hut, and for us Rintoul Hut, but you can head off in different directions here as well. Emma's just rocked up. Every now and then we just get this fake little, we think, oh, is it going to clear? And we just get a bit more visibility and even slight sign of sunlight coming through, and it lasts about 20 seconds and it goes again. But you never know, it might blow over and you might even see a tiny little barrel that's put in the middle of my screen. That's a little extra water supply, because there's no water supply up here. You have to go between huts for water supply, but I bought 4.2 litres with me, so I thought that should be enough to get me right through to Rintoul Hut, maybe even further. But not going to stay here too long, because even though the weather's not too bad, you will get cold quickly. Oh, it's trying. If I had more time, I'd do a time lapse. We even had a sprinkling of sun. The cloud's gone here, over here again, but we could see it a moment ago, and you can see how much clearer it's getting, so fingers crossed we might get a view on the Rintouls. You see these cliffs in that though, you can see why you wouldn't want to do this in bad weather. You want to be able to see the markers and stay away from that. I'm not sure how far over that we go. You can see a little gap in the trees at the top, but I can see a little marker just down there. I don't know if the video will show you how steep it is, but it's definitely hands and feet and climb up these bits. Now we're just got to sort of find our way through here. You might be able to see a little orange marker here. There's one of them further up here. I don't know if you'll see it in the camera. There it is there, just on the side of that rock. That's all we've got to go off and just find our way over. Yeah, that was a pretty rough little bit of track there. Just popped out into this little opening. Just wait for Emma to catch up to me. She'll pop out over there in a minute. Yeah, I suspect all of Little Rintoul, Big Rintoul's going to be like that, and I think we just disappear into a bit more forest over here. Track just goes down in there. We're going to drop down to the junction where you can head off to Old Man Hut, and then the real challenge, the real fun begins. Little Rintoul, Big Rintoul. Something I never thought I'd ever attempt. But we'll see how we go. So we've just come to the first junction where it drops down to Old Man Hut. And this is what I was saying, it's a 300 metre descent to get down to the hut. That could have been a target for us yesterday, but we didn't want to drop down there. There is talk about camping, but not at this junction, at the next junction along. So it definitely doesn't look like many campsites here where you could easily put up a tent. So I'll push along to the next one, and if you follow me and you want to camp, I'll let you know if there's a possibility at the next junction. So this is the second junction. And that's the other way down to Old Man Hut. We wouldn't have dropped down and come back along the same track. We would have dropped down on that other track at the other junction and come up here. But this is where they say there's tent sites. I don't really know where. I guess you just have to try and find something amongst the trees. But I'm glad I didn't push onto here and try and put up a tent, because I don't have a standalone tent. I think that would have been quite difficult. Alright, I'll wait for Emma to catch up. Maybe we'll have a bit of a break here and lunch, because now we're into the big part of the day. One of the big parts of this trip that I've always been anxious about. So we're about to start climbing again on Little Rintoul, then a big scree down, and then we go into the Big Rintoul. See ya. So if you follow me, we're only 5 minutes past that junction, and there's a little open area here where you'd probably be able to get a tent up. So yeah, just keep walking past the second junction if you're going southbound. Well, just breaking out of the tree line now. And here we go. Little Rintoul, the first one. Here's our marker. Let's see what it's like. Every now and then, it's like it's teasing us. The sun sort of comes out through the clouds. You see the pile of rocks here. Sometimes you just got to follow the piles of rock, find your way up. I don't know if you'll see it on here. There's a couple of markers just up here. And we just got to keep battling our way up through this rocky scree. Oh, fingers crossed. Let's get a quick view of that in case it disappears again. But we can just start to see a few peaks through that cloud. Fingers crossed. A bit of blue sky over here. I'm almost at the peak. It might be almost right there. So not quite. I've just got to scuttle my way along there. And there's another little peak just in the mist. You just can't quite see. And that's going to be the summit. I'm not quite there. Well, there's no real clear summit, but definitely conquered Little Rintoul. And now Mount Rintoul to go. Unfortunately, I have to drop all the way down again and climb about the same amount as I did from that junction to get up on the Rintoul. And then we'll drop down to Rintoul Hut and make a decision from there. But I'm just going to sit here for a moment and salvage it while I wait for the Super Kiwi or Emma to catch up. There's a bit of a rock thing there. I might stick a rock on top of it. But still pretty good. It's, I can sit here just with a parka on and not even get cold. So in terms of safety, not bad weather. But yeah, visibility, get a little niggle of a view every now and then. Every now and then the sun pokes through, but yeah, it is what it is. Reminding me of the Tarn Ranges and the luck I had there. Anyway, we'll wait for Emma. We'll go from there. You just don't know, I guess. Just the way I keep getting these glimmers and then the sun coming through. Maybe Mount Rintoul is actually above the clouds, so we might be lucky there. I'll keep my fingers and toes all crossed. See ya. I think this is Mount Rintoul here. We're about to drop down and go up just in behind those clouds there. Well, here's our little path up here. You see a couple of people just hiking down there. You can just follow it up through here. There's actually another couple of people just going up through here as well. And to see the little red top there. And we find our way up here and then up the ridge. Up to the summit. It's going to be a tough one. Well, it's going to take a while to work out how to get over there. Once we get over there, we can go down this little scree's okay, but there's the next marker down the bottom there. I don't know if you can see it down there. So there we go. Little orange triangle hammered into the rock. And you got to skimmy around the side there. Oh, Emma just made that look really easy. So we're just at the transition now. That pole's definitely the bottom. So the fun part now of climbing up. Bit of clouds just blowing over, but it'll probably go again. So we're just taking our jackets and everything off because we're probably going to get pretty hot doing this. Well, from a distance, it actually looked like quite a well compacted, smooth gravel path, but this is what the path is actually when you get closer. We'll get there though. Just got to keep putting one foot in front of the other. Try and give you a bit of an idea what it's like, but every footing you can see how the scree moves around on you. You got to try and just find a firm footing somewhere. Get yourself up. It's harder than it looks. Sort of 3 steps forward, 1 step back. That's scree walking. I thought I'd better pan around and do a shot of the view I've got, because there's a possibility here as I get higher that I'm actually going to disappear up into the clouds, and we might be lucky, it might clear out. Might be real lucky, and actually if it's a thin layer, punch through the clouds and come out above them, but I'm not sure how far I am to the top, but I've still got a wee way to go. And that scree, that didn't last that long. Then there are a few switchbacks in that, so a gentler gradient, so you could get a good footing. And so far, I think this climb's actually been easier than the climb up to Little Rintoul, even though this one's a bit higher. You know, you might see the next marker up there, that's my target. We'll scramble up over these rocks and keep going, 1 foot in front of the other. We'll get there. Well, that's that view I took just below the clouds. I'm probably 60% of the way up. I think that might be, not sure if that's a false summit, but I've still got to get up to there. So I see that cloud, it hits the cliff here. It just flows upwards. Just magic. It's just cleared a bit for me at this level again. It's about the only spot I'm getting a view of though, everywhere else is white out. Fingers crossed, I'll keep going up. Well, there we go. I've just done it. I just hit the summit of Mount Rintoul. I actually really enjoyed this climb. I found that easier than Little Rintoul actually. And I'm going to wait here for Emma to catch me up. She told me when I was waiting for Little Rintoul, "Why, you shouldn't have waited. I don't like holding you up." I said, "No way." I said, "I'll walk with you. I feel terrible if something would have happened to you. And I'd just like to check in at points like this." No, that's how we've always hiked. We don't have to be in each other's space the whole time. You know, one will go ahead of the other, but when you get to a point like this, I just like to check in, because something happens, at least you know the rough area where the person is. Anyway, as I suspected, I'm just up in the clouds, so even though we're here, we've got no real view at the summit, but we did get a bit of a view on the way up, so we'll take what we get. And it's just a bit unbelievable, you know. I didn't even think I'd get to do or attempt the Te Aroa, and those two, the two big ones, the Te Aroa Ranges and Mount Richmond. And here I am at the highest point now on the Mount Richmond walk, so I still got to get down. I haven't got out of it yet, but they always say they're the toughest too. And I'm just starting to get that little bit of self-belief now for the first time. That yeah, unless I get really sick, unless I get an injury, or you know, there's a really big family disaster or something, I think I can make it to Bluff. And it's the first time I feel like I can do it. So long as I keep doing what I've been doing, 1 foot in front of the other, just be sensible, I think I can do it now. So I'm just going to sit here in my own space and just think for a little bit while Emma catches me up, and enjoy it. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll show you what it's like on the way down. See ya. So I forgot to say, this is 1,716 metres. So still a little bit below Stag Saddle. That's the highest point on the TA. It's just under the 2,000 mark, 1,900 and something. But I kept thinking this was close to 1,900 as well. What it is, I'm actually at the 1,900 kilometre mark out of the 3,000 Ks. So the next section, Nelson Lakes, which I'm really looking forward to, in the Waiau Pass, at the very beginning of that, before even going over Travis Saddle, which is the first real climb, I'll actually hit 2/3 of the 2,000 kilometre mark. So there'll be another little milestone. Might have to put something in my pack for a little celebration when I hit that mark. See ya. Here she is. Emma's coming to the summit. So here we go. Super Kiwis hitting the summit. And of all the people I've hiked with, it's a privilege to spend this moment with her. She's been one of the coolest hikers I've hiked with on the trail.
Slowest.
Doesn't matter if she's slowest. Go touch the summit there, Super Kiwi. Away you go. Woo!
Oh, crumbs crashing down.
It's one of the better rock piles I've seen. There's actually a special name for these when people make rock piles like that, but I'm not sure what it is. If you know, put in the comments for me. Well, that's the last of the scree. We're about to go back in the forest here. We can see the markers, but definitely easier going down the scree than up it. Well, there we go, Rintoul Hut. I recognise this from watching other people's YouTubes. There's plenty of tent space in it here, but we'll let Emma catch up and we'll see what she wants to do. But I'm pretty keen probably to push on to Tarn Hut. I'll just check out the sign and see how long it takes. Well, the hut's already full, and that doesn't surprise me. There is one bathroom over there. There's actually a lovely spot. Heaps of room to put up a tent. And 2 toilets. There's another toilet over here. Tarn Hut sign there says 5 hours. I was actually thinking it was 4 hours. I don't know if we'll have time to get through to Tarn Hut before dark, and there is another climb in it. But have a quick chat to Emma when she gets here. But we'll hardly even be able to have a break here if we try and pull that one off. So there we go. Decision's been made to push on to Tarn Hut. Would you tell me, Emma? You told me to harden up.
I did not.
We've got to go to the next hut. Yeah. No, I think it's the right decision. We're only going to mope around here. And then there's still the next walk from Tarn Hut to Mid-Wairoa that doesn't get affected by river levels or anything anyway. So, yeah, it's just going to be wasting an afternoon. We've both got the energy. We may as well wander on. See ya. Well, the first part of this walk's really nice, actually. Been completely flat too. But we're about to hit our first climb soon. And that'll be tough at the end of the day. Even though we've just been undulating over those ridge tops, the cumulative ascent and descent today is already about the same, if not more, than what we did when we left and climbed up the main range past Starville from Hackett Hut. So, you know, it does make a long day, but I actually feel alright, but I know I'm going to slow down a lot as soon as I hit the hill. Get this big pile of stones, even some goat horns or a goat skull shoved in there. And been a lot of goats here. I just can't focus on them and get you good photos because just with all that cloud activity, the camera just won't focus. But anyway, as always, when you decide to do 3 hut days, that last third of the day, getting over that last hut's always a bit of a push. And the first thing I look at is the elevation. I just can't wait to get the climbing over, and this is the worst of it. There's a little marker up here, and I think that's my high point. I do have a couple more little ups, but the worst is over now. So we'll head on. Let's get to this Tarn Hut. Emma's a bit behind me, but yeah, we'll find her at camp anyway. So just back into the tree line now. And just the way the note said on this little section of the hike, you'll pop out above the tree line over a little exposed ridge and follow the poles back into the tree line. I kind of expected about a little 5-minute bit of exposure, but that was like being back up on Little Rintoul and Mount Rintoul. That was really good. I actually enjoyed coming over here. So this is an old track here. Bishop's Cap route, but it's no longer maintained. In fact, they put a yellow sticker over it. They don't want you going there anymore. But this is an old junction, and far out actually said if you really wanted to, you could pitch a tent here, and this is one spot where finally I think you could make it work. Anyway, we're going to push on. Tarn Hut. Getting close now. Gonna have to put the tent up in the rain. It's getting a bit wet. Well, there we go, everybody. Little 5-bedder Tarn Hut. I'm just gonna throw my tent up. I'm not even gonna look and see if there's a spare bed because I don't care. I'd rather be in my tent. 7:30. So the sign at Rintoul Hut, that said 4.5 hours. It's taken me 4. I stopped twice and put rain gear and that on. And I was doing a lot of photos and filming as I went as well, so really comfortable. 4.5 hours. I did it comfortably in 4. Emma shouldn't be too far behind me. We'll see what time she comes in, but we both like to walk by our own a little bit too. That's how we've always liked to give her, and that's why we get along so well. Anyway, let me get my tent up. See ya. Well, g'day everybody. Just a quick wrap up for today. Made it to Tarn Hut. Both Emma and I are glad we put in the effort, did the extra distance. Tents are all set up, but it's been raining and that, so didn't get any footage of that. Not that that really matters. Both of us found Little Rintoul was a tougher climb than the main Mount Rintoul today. But 3 hut day, good long day. There was a lot of climbing and a lot of descending, accumulative, which I haven't really thought of before, but we probably did more climbing today than we actually did yesterday when we sort of came up the main range. But yeah, we've got the alarm set for 4:30 in the morning. Start getting up, and we'll hit the trail as soon as we can in the morning, and we might be able to do a triple hut day tomorrow. There is a little bit of rain forecast, but we'll just see how much of that falls, because we're going to go from Tarn to mid-Wairoa, but from mid-Wairoa through to Wairoa Hut, there are river crossings, and if that rain does come down and the river levels rise, we won't be going anywhere, but we'll suss all that out tomorrow, and I'll take you along with us. Bye.